Well, good afternoon, friends and family. This is Pastor Steve of Candidate Congregational Church, where our mission is to love God, love people, and to make disciples. And one of the ways that we do that is by placing our faith in God, placing our faith in Jesus Christ, and acknowledging that He is sovereign and that no matter how out of control that our lives may be, no matter how chaotic the future we might perceive to be, we trust in His provision, His protection, and the fact that he promises to be present with us. And I really appreciated how Dr. Charles Stanley concluded this 10-day devotional series on finding peace by taking us to this a really important time of transition in the people of Israel's life. Moses was ending the end of his life. They hadn't quite entered into the promised land yet. And so before Moses passes on, God gives him this word to share. And it's this word of courage, a word of faith. It says, do not be afraid, do not fear, for I am with you. I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. And in fact, I'm going to go one step beyond that and tell you that I'm going to go before you. That the things that you are afraid of, I am going to take care of because I am your God, because I am sovereign and I am able to do that. And he gives the same word to Joshua, the heir apparent, the new leader of this fledgling nation. And he says, Joshua, you're going to face many challenges, the first of which is just bringing the people into the promised land. There's a lot of things to be afraid of. They're huge, and some of them are small, but most of them are huge things to be afraid of. But I don't want you to be afraid, for I am your God, and I am with you, and I am going to go before you. And I think this is just a wonderful example of what we mean when we say that God is sovereign. We're saying that He is above all things, that no matter how chaotic or how big our problems may be or how uncertain the future is, God is bigger than all of that, right? And it also tells us that God is in the midst of everything. You know, God wasn't far away, but he was there with the people of Israel. He was there with Joshua. He was there with Moses at the very end. And so this idea of God's sovereignty is not just that he's above all things, but that he's present with us. And what I find most encouraging is that not only is he above all things and present with us, but he goes before us, right? He was going before the people of Israel. He was going before Joshua, and he was going to deliver to them this promised land, this land of milk and honey, this land of Canaan, right? And I think this is just it's a beautiful illustration of God's sovereignty. It's a beautiful reason of why we should not fear uncertainty. Like we shouldn't be afraid of the unknown because we're reminded that God is above all things, He's in all things, and He's going before us in all things. And I think this is a lesson that we need to take heart today. This is a truth that we really need to hold on to. If anything, the coronavirus has demonstrated to us that we really don't know what's coming next. We might have a good idea of what tomorrow will bring, but on a moment's notice, it can change. And certainly as we project future out into the future, we become less and less certain, right? We might have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen tomorrow, but I have a shadow of an idea of what's going to happen 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, let alone months from now. But I don't need to be afraid of the unknown because I get to rely on God's promise that says that He is above all things, that He is present in all things, and that He is moving before me in all things. And this is certainly a promise that you and I, believers today, get to hold on to. Because Jesus, before He ascended into heaven, some of the last instructions He gave His disciples before leaving earth was to go into the world and make disciples, to baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, to teach the world all that Jesus had commanded them, and not just to teach it, but to show them how to observe that. And after giving them this great charge, right, this great commission, he gives them this promise that God had delivered to Israel and God had delivered to Joshua. He says, and behold, I will be with you till the end of this age. You and I are in a treasured, a privileged position as believers in Jesus Christ, because not only do we have the promise that God is above all things and that He is present in all things, but because of Jesus' promise and the sending of the Holy Spirit, we actually have the Spirit of God dwelling inside us. So not only is he shaping us and leading us and going before us, but he is all consuming our present. He is present in everything, is what I mean to say. And so, like Joshua, like the Israelites marching into Canaan, we can march into our future with confidence and courage because God is above all things, He is in all things, and He is going before us in all things. Well, that's my encouragement for you today. I've really enjoyed these devotions with you. I'm going to take Saturday and off from this daily devotion so that I can prepare for Sunday. Sunday is Palm Sunday. We're excited for the beginning of Easter week. We have a fun way of celebrating that we're going to bring some short clips to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to get together Thursday night for a night of prayer, kind of a Monday, Thursday service night of prayer. Friday is Good Friday. Saturday is Holy Saturday. And then we get to the main event, right? We get to Easter. So I'm looking forward to celebrating this week with you. Check your emails, check Facebook with information about a Thursday event, a Friday event, and certainly about our Easter event. Guys, I can't wait until you and I get to stand face to face. We get to embrace each other with a big hug, and we get to celebrate the conclusion of coronavirus. But until then, know this, I love you. I'm praying for you. But most importantly, God is above all things, He is in all things, and He is moving before you in all things. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.